On today's episode, the Cubs played another game in Toronto as there was very few pitchers available. We'll break all of that down and get into some of the highlights that were from Tuesday night's game and also break down some news and notes, including a certain outfield prospect making his return to AAA. That's all ahead on this edition of Locked On Cubs.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. Sam, I might place a bet the Cubs might not win another ball game the rest of the year.
Yeah, see, you're overreacting.
Will they win another game? 3-1-2, 8-3-4, 4-6-3-4.
See, this
Let
is
us
where
know.
this is where you start to frustrate me because I said on this show they're going to get swept, and now you're upset that they're going to get swept.
Sure.
Whenever you're playing a team like the Blue Jays who have playoff aspirations and they're coming off a series where they get embarrassed at home and then add in the fact that you blow game one, you're not going to win a game this series. They'll get one in St. Louis. But it's this game, I'm still upset about last night. This game didn't bother me much. Nice comeback outing from Stroman. Wish you could go a little bit deeper, be more efficient, but that's a tough lineup to navigate around. He did a nice job. We'll talk about some other positives and the debuts. Look, last night was frustrating because we talk about how David Ross is a future part of this team, just like we judge players, right? This one, there's no reason to lose sleep over this one. There just isn't.
Yeah, I thought it was a good bounce back outing from Stroman. And I guess my biggest thing right now is, just looking at the totality of the series. And I'm not saying that I avoid what you're saying about them getting swept and you predicting that, but
it's a given.
You would like to see them compete. They are doing that.
Yeah.
Especially given the personnel and given the reliever situation, which I will make a point of that. I do have some stats. Okay.
Sure.
But here's an example of why they're going to be swept, right? Who's pitching tomorrow? Who's starting?
They haven't announced it yet, huh?
They haven't announced it. We're 22 hours away.
Yeah. You don't like that.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
So you don't have a plan in place on who to start a major league game? And you have an off day this coming Monday.
No.
Put a pitcher in.
No, aren't they? They're off Thursday.
They're off Thursday and Monday, right?
Yeah,
sorry.
Sorry.
They're off Thursday to make my point even better, and then they're off next Monday, this Monday.
Yeah.
They're not playing on Labor Day.
Fine.
I guess. I don't know.
Tired of these guys.
It's a lot of labor to watch this team.
Yeah, no, I don't need to watch that club on Labor Day.
What are you going to do instead?
Watch other stuff. It's look. The season has had a lot of different things. This is the part of the schedule here. I mean, think about what they've been. I'm usually the pessimist on this show, but let's give these guys a little credit here, okay? They've played. It feels like they've played 12 games in 11 days. They went 5 games. They played Milwaukee at home, 5-game series St. Louis, then to Milwaukee, then to Toronto, now back to St. Louis.
Wow.
They got no pitchers left. The season really doesn't matter for them right now, and that's why I was looking ahead at next year's schedule. There's a few tough road trips, but I mean, think about this gauntlet. I mean, this is a really tough stretch of baseball games. So, it's tough to survive these even when you're a really good team, let alone when you're really not playing for anything. And so It is what it is. I just want to see them play the game better. Less base running mistakes, sharp defensively, better situational hitting. Little things like that. That's what I'm watching for. And things like Estrada throwing 98, 99 out of the pen today, which we're going to talk about in the second segment. And I have a great line from the great Dan Schulman tonight.
Nice.
That really
Blue Jays TV announcer.
that really made my night.
Really?
Yeah.
But this is a teaser, as we say in the biz, or are you going to give it now?
No. It's going to be a teaser.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was nice to see. Every time I feel like I've given up on Morelli, it's a home run. I literally texted Matt. I literally texted Matt and go, I don't think this guy is going to be around much. And then he goes homer, rocket double. So, nice to see him.
Well, that's classic Sam.
Yeah, right. No,
Classic Sam text.
But you got to admit he's been overmatched.
He has been, and I don't know what his role is in 2023, but he's probably not an everyday player.
Right. And I don't know what roles David Ross is either, but that's a different conversation.
Oh, gosh. Somebody keep track of this at home.
And for the bingo card today, who is the marquee crew?
Marquee crew was Mowens and JD.
Now, was Mowens on the call last night as well?
Yes.
Okay, because I haven't listened to Marquee.
She's been on the call 3 games in a row, dating back to Sunday. Boog did Sunday Night Baseball on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a Braves-Cardinals tilt.
On the TV side, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him to get that opportunity. And you know what? It's funny. When I was listening to the Braves-Cardinals game on the air on ESPN, it sounded exactly like he does a Cubs game because he does a really nice national broadcast.
Oh, geez. I know. He's very well credentialed. Let's say that.
Sure.
Let's at least say that. So Morel with a nice night at the plate, Sam.
Yeah.
About time. He was working with, by the way, I just wanted to let you know, he was working with Andy Green, Cubs bench coach pregame over there at third base. And he was a little better at third base tonight.
Then he needs some work over there.
Yeah. Well, as they all need some more reps. So Stroman goes 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Let's break down the bullpen situation along with some other notes from the game, as not one but 2 pitchers make their debut, including one that I would say was actually pretty electric. And so we're going to get to all of that coming up next. First, this show is brought to you again by BetOnline. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your betting needs. Find all your favorite sports and events at the #1 online source for odds, lines, and games. Find reviews and news of every league, including MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, golf, and even esports. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports wagering info. From live in-game betting scores and podcasts, they have you covered. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Now, I know this isn't this type of show, but if you can get the Bears plus a touchdown week 1 at home against Trey Lance and the Niners, go to BetOnline and place that because they're going to cover.
Wow. So you're feeling that, huh?
They're not getting blown out at home week 1 with a new head football coach for basically a first-year quarterback. BetOnline, mark it down.
I think they might win that game.
I got a weird feeling about game 1 at Soldier on the lakefront. But let's talk Cubs baseball.
Okay. A little detour there. There was some construction on
So
Sam's
can I tell you, because I know what we're about to talk about, can I tell you what Schulman
Sure.
And what his color guy said today? They go, man. Now here's some context. Remember my rant earlier this year after the Dodgers series. He goes, man, I'll tell you, the Cubs and a lot of teams that we've been facing lately just come out with some electric young arms out of the bullpen.
Right.
That was it.
That was the line?
Yeah, it just was nice to hear somebody. Now, for once, we got somebody saying, man, look at this guy throwing 99,
Right.
And Rodriguez throwing the ball hard. I know that the results weren't great, but there's some really nice young arms. And this kid, Estrada, was sitting 98, 99 tonight with a slider. That's the type of stuff I want to see going forward. And that's what Lindsey Crosby was talking about on our show about, and somebody made a great point. We should have Lindsey Crosby on before the year ends again.
I did see that comment. That was a great suggestion from a listener.
Because we want to get updates on these guys. He said you're gonna continue to see high arms, big sliders, and I like what I'm seeing. The first thing I did, I texted my cousin who's he's a Cub fan as well. He lives in the city of Los Angeles. I said, look at this kid Estrada, 98, 99, sitting there, good slider, struck out 2 Blue Jays. He's intrigued.
No, the Cubs haven't had a pitcher who's thrown 99 since the Obama administration.
Nice. Oh, sure.
That was actually like a realistic reference.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, you didn't go back. So, last time I think I did Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, I think, or Coolidge.
Yeah, no, that's the 20s.
Right. Okay. No, Estrada, there was practically, his fastball could practically light up a room.
No.
It was that electric. And shout out to Thomas Edison, by the way.
Oh, no. Okay. No, that's good stuff, Mateo.
But this is his 4th level of the season. Do you know how impressive that is?
No, it really is.
To start from high A to the Cubs, that's silly. And he should be. He deserves a lot of credit for that.
And easy gas, by the way. Let's talk about the debut that didn't go so well, Matt. What'd you see there?
Yeah, Brendan Little. Get it out of the way now is what I put in my notes.
I agree.
If you're going to do that, this is the type of season to do it.
Did he hit the leadoff guy or walk him? I don't remember. I know he gave.
That was the challenge. Hit batter.
Yeah, so a little hit by pitch. Then he slips on the mound and then gives up an Oppo Taco 3-run Tata.
Jeez. Okay, easy there.
What do you mean, 3-run homer?
Yeah. I've never heard you say that before. I never heard you put it like that.
I don't know. I've heard that many times.
Okay, all right. You try to get get with the hip audience here.
I'm not overreacting to Little's debut.
Brendan Little was high velo from the left side as well.
No, it's really intriguing.
Right.
I use the word intriguing too much. I've been told 3 people said said we can play
a couple texts.
Yeah, I could play a drinking game for how many times I use intriguing.
Right. Well, listen. We've seen enough of Rowan Wick. We've seen enough of
Sean Newcomb.
Yes.
Newcomb.
Yeah, he gave up. Okay, he gave up literally 6 runs his last outing, dog.
Yeah, in 1 inning.
Let's see some new pitchers.
Some newcomers.
No.
Some newcomers.
No.
Get it? Newcomers?
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Okay.
So
Sox are trailing the Royals at home. Man, what a joke.
Don't do this now. I know it's late. A lot of late recordings for us.
Well, yeah, it's because they play night games here in the week.
The Cubs only had 4 available relief pitchers for sure tonight. Estrada, who debuted, Little, who debuted, Brucker, who pitched on Saturday, and I guess Wick, who pitched on Sunday. Contreras left this ball game, hit a home run.
He is limping all over the place.
Yeah, I think it might be in best interest of the roster to possibly
IL him.
Visit the IL.
Yeah,
and we'll see him in 10 days.
And he's in a free agent year. Let him get right. He doesn't. There's not much value for him out here.
Madrigal solid defensively tonight, including 2 web gems.
You know what? He's had when we got him, and I was reading up on him. Mm-hmm. The defense at second base was a much bigger question than the bat, and he has played a stellar defense this year.
It's been great,
stellar defensively. I mean, he doesn't have a great arm over there, but that he has been very sure-handed.
Like even today's game, though, it showcased his arm, though.
Yeah, no, his arm was him and Horner's arms were way overratedly bad. They're fine.
I think so too, especially Horner.
And he's hitting. It's just you'd love to mix in a walker and a double every now and then, as that slug's still under 300.
Well, he has walked since he came back.
Yeah,
but extra base hits are hard to come by for sure.
Right. But if he hits, like with Madrigal, because you can't look at the total year right now because he got off to such a bad start. But like if he's not going to have a lot of extra base hits, but he hits 305, then that's fine.
Yeah, you wonder if he was healthy to begin the year because it was
Or,
that bad.
or rusty,
Yes. Yeah. True.
because he hadn't played. So he's been fine. You know, like I said, defensively, he's fairly intriguing. That's why the Otani stuff is so. I said intriguing again.
Oh
Gosh darn
boy,
it.
it's only like
That's
3
why
minutes ago.
that's why the Otani stuff is so fun to talk about because
It's a lot
as
of
much
fun.
as much as you love to get a Bogarts, Correa, or Turner, if you go into next year with Horner and Madrigal up the middle and upgrade elsewhere, you probably feel just as good, if not better.
Well, I'm getting ready to call this third to first lineup. I'm pretty close to calling it. I'm sketching some stuff out.
Yeah, right.
Bogarts, Horner, Madrigal, Mervis.
Yeah, but the thing that you understate, I think, is how
Right.
challenging it is for these guys' egos to be moved off a shortstop like Bogarts. Like that's a hard conversation.
I get it.
But it should be a lot less of a conversation when you're making 30, 35 million a year. You
Sure.
give me 30, 35 million a
Some
year.
incentive.
I'll play in the upper deck.
Bring your mitt. And finally, Sam, speaking
You ever caught a foul ball at Wrigley Field?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever caught a foul ball at the friendly confines?
Yeah, 2019, David Bodie.
Really?
Yeah.
What
first row of the 300 level.
And is he still a Cub?
Yes, he's in Triple A.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I remember when David
a lot
Bodie,
of disrespect for you on this show.
I remember when David Bodie had that run in 2018.
Oh.
And I was convinced that they found a diamond in the rough.
Great expression.
And when they signed him that team friendly deal, I remember being like
a huge extension.
No, but it was like a really at the time it was labeled as very team friendly. I was like, oh my gosh, what a steal! This guy's gonna be really good for a really long time. Holy Moses!
I saw him walking down the street yesterday.
What?
Well, I'm just saying that maybe I'm saying that he's maybe doing other work.
Oh,
he's still playing ball. He's still playing ball.
No, not a great. But all right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
then finally, one more thing, and maybe
intriguing,
leading to a Otani conspiracy theory, perhaps, since he will be DHing for the Cubs next year.
Sure.
Franmil Reyes did a lot of work over at first base pregame on Tuesday, and obviously he's going to need some more plate appearances elsewhere when Otani comes in.
And if Wilson Contreras is a Cub next year, he could be taking some time at first base.
That's true. And I'd like to see that. All right, we're going to close out the show coming up next with some news and notes, including some history revisitation as well with a certain right-handed pitcher that led the Cubs to a World Series. We do that next. All right, we're back here on Locked On Cubs. First listen every day, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Remember when they did the time and temp back in the day, 9:36 Central right now. It's 65 degrees. And so, Sam.
Yes.
I have some notes here. Brennen Davis back to AAA Iowa. He homered in his first.
He hit a home run today. Man, I'll tell you, what a bonus that has been. We all thought he was done for the year, and now he's hitting home runs, and we haven't even hit Labor Day yet. Really good sign as we head into 2023 with one of the Cubs' top prospects.
Speaking of prospects, Miguel Amaya.
Why are you laughing at me again?
Miguel Amaya, according to reports, is headed to the Arizona Fall League, where he will not only DH, but he also will return to the catching position, as he's only DHing right now at AA. So that's a good sign. And the Cubs have 7, like all teams, 7 rostered players in the AFL. And right now, according to reports, it's Davis, Amaya, and Mervis. So I'd like to know who the other 4 guys are because they're pretty loaded already. But good to see Amaya is going to catch because you might roll into opening day 23 with Gomes and Higgins, and maybe Amaya is not too far behind as the Cubs contend at this time next year.
Yeah.
Any response at all?
No, I just feel like every time I've talked today, you've kind of held in your laughter.
Any response?
Do I have something on my face or something?
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, you have some facial hair that maybe you could clean up a bit.
I would love to see Miguel Amaya contribute. I think he's another guy that I didn't expect to really do much this year, and he's playing. So I think that's a really good sign too. I think everything below the major league level right now, I'd say, is pointing up. I will admit I haven't kept up on Killian's last outing, and I know Wicks was removed a little bit prematurely out of precaution. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
But everything in the system's pointing up. It's a strong system. There's a lot to be excited about. You just have to keep reminding yourself that as we head into the last month of the season.
Right. The calendar turns to September on Thursday, which is pretty wild. And finally, on this day, August 30th, 2015, Jake Arrieta, remember him, pitched a no-hitter against the Dodgers. That was Sunday Night Baseball in LA. Cubs won 2-0 as they began the stretch run of a special 2015 campaign.
Now, Matt, I want to challenge you. I want you to pull up that box score if you can.
Oh, boy.
Because if I remember, one of my favorite Cubs all time, Starlin Castro, had 2 hits in that ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cubs won that game 2-0 Sunday Night Baseball at Los Angeles in LA.
Wait. So you know the box score from the game?
I remember Castro had 2 hits. I'm trying to remember who hit, how they got their runs. I know Castro was at second in that game. I think he might have had a double as well. I think it was a single and a double in that game. You'll have to pull up the box score for me on that. But it was such a beautiful no-hitter. I believe Chase Utley was the last victim. And then he threw a no-hitter just 9-10 starts later in early 16 against the Redlegs in Cincinnati. Shout out Jeff Carr.
He likes using that term.
The Redlegs, yeah.
That's hilarious.
And that final was a 16-0 Cub win.
So 2-0 was the final. Cubs with 2 runs on 13 hits, by the way. They didn't score very much that game. This is an insane lineup. So how many hits for Castro?
Castro had 2 hits in that baseball game.
He was 3 for 5 in that game.
3!
With a double.
I knew he had a big day.
Dexter
3
Fowler
hits.
with 3 hits. Miguel Montero, who caught that game, 2 for 4. What Cub homered in that game, Sam?
Yeah, so I knew there was a homer. Gosh,
responsible for both runs. It was a 2-run Jackson.
I knew they had a 2-run homer. I said that, and just give me
praise you for that.
Oh man!
And who was the final out? You said
was it Chase Utley?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and a strikeout.
Arrieta struck out the side.
I can't remember who hit the home run. Man. I can't remember who hit the home run. I don't think it was Bryant.
He hit third that day. What'd you say?
So it was Bryant.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was Bryant. Okay.
But 1 for 5 home run.
I wouldn't have got that if you didn't tell if you said that that he hit third. I didn't think it was him, but Bryant had that big 2016 in LA. It kind of clinched his MVP at that 2-homer game late, so I get that confused. But yeah, Arrieta, great moment, Cubs history. That was fun. What a run that was, man! I'll never forget when he had that press conference before the wild card game in Pittsburgh.
And he was such a great moment.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching Muhammad Ali in his prime. He's like, it doesn't matter what they say. They could say what they want because when I'm out there, this game's over. Something like that. I don't know what.
I'm sweet.
And then he just throws a complete game shutout.
I remember that game really well.
As Schwarber hit one to Heinz Field. Oh, I remember really well. Fowler,
Mike Tomlin caught it.
Fowler led off with a hit, stole a bag. Schwarber with a little blue base hit, scored a run. Then Schwarber had the big hit, the homer. And Starlin Castro actually caught the final out of that game. I believe it was a Francisco Cervelli line out to second.
Boy, oh boy. All right. So at some point, we're just going to have a segment where Sam just recaps a random game on the schedule.
Yeah, well, I miss those days, man.
Good times, right?
Oh, sure.
Next year.
Sure.
Next year.
No, we'll get back there. Just, you gotta give it some time.
And stay with us for that on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Remember, you can drop us a text, 312-834-4634. And thanks for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. And how about this?
Tell me.
Your second listen. Go check out the Ultimate Pro Football Preview Show. an 8-episode extravaganza to get you ready for the 2022 NFL season. All the local team experts of the Locked On Podcast Network, plus betting news and notes from Lee Sterling of Locked On Bets, all combining into one ultimate NFL preview.
I'm there.
Just search for Ultimate Pro Football Preview 2022 on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. That does sound really good.
I love working for this network. I mean, I get everything. I listen to Locked On Jazz today.
Yeah.
That was great. Trying to learn about this Donovan Mitchell stuff. Then I'm in football mode. I go listen to the football stuff. You know what? I'm starting to get in football mode.
I could smell it a bit.
And my Illini are going to upset the Hoosiers Friday night. Mark that down.
And that's where we're going to end it tonight, folks. And if you are this far in the episode, Sam, I do want to say this to you because we did not acknowledge it off the air. I wanted to surprise you. Happy 2-year anniversary of doing a show.
Oh, thank you, Matthew. It's always a pleasure working with you. As I say, the 2022 version of the great late Johnny Carson.
He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy, and this is Locked On Cubs.